Hi, finally, the show. I'm happy to finally be doing as hard work and effort and time given to this point. I want to say thank you for Joel Coffee House and the St. Francis for hosting it and letting it record here, and their hospitality. And it's to finally off the road. BT Plus and a talk show. We're called the Be Yourself because urge all be who, and that's why the name just popped in my head and I stuck with it. I just went with it. So I am transgender. I am those Jessica Gatsmar. And let's just dive right into it. Well, first off, today's recording is December 29th, 2015. So that's on the show today and on today's or before. I just want to make that clear because since this is podcast anytime they want to. And so without further ado, we introduce to you Ghost. I'm proud to call her a friend, and I got her, it was earlier last over a year
ago.
Almost 2 years ago, in re-election campaign.
Yes.
We've become the course of the year, course of the campaign. And I gotta say, how many, it's 20 years now, experience you have?
20 years in a lot in those years.
She's so wonderful coming on today. Her name is Allison State. That's Nikki. So take the time.
Nope.
And what we want to do on our first show, season 1, is about how transgender visibility is throughout politics, throughout the media. And then later on the show, I want to get into a rash of the called policing law, whatever you want to call it, because that seems to be an issue that's going on right now within politics, not just in Wisconsin, because we're here in Wisconsin, but over all across the country. It's amazing. I would say in the last year, 5-10 years ago, would this be even in talk, like daily conversations talking about gender stuff? Now you got gender coming out a couple weeks after I came out on April 2nd. Lauren Cox, big time actress on Orange is the New Black. I mean, it's amazing what's going on this past few years.
It is really amazing. And, first of all, congratulations on yours coming out.
Thank you.
I had no until you actually that you were embarking on this journey of life, and it takes a lot of courage to come out. But I think when Caitlyn Jenner came out, it really opened up the discussion. And I've never seen Orange is Black, but I have heard Laverne Cox. And for celebrities such as this soap, I think really gives the gender community gives them credibility. To say, I think people need to realize that being transgender is a stigma. Sometimes it's a medical condition. It's been proven. And as a community, not here, but as we as a whole, we do a much better job of accepting transgender into the mainstream community.
Totally agree. I mean, there's times where people has a gender identity disorder. That's how I would be diagnosed with it. And I don't know if I'd like to use the term really disorder.
Right.
But I understand that, we can go into this more future show topics. Doctors will use it so that they can properly treat you, right? Because they have a medical, so that's why they use it. But even, it's changed so much in the last few years now with this visibility going. Say what you about Caitlyn Jenner. There's things I like about which is politically, whatever. But good for the community.
Oh yeah.
For mainstream acceptance.
Yeah.
Her, Laverne Cox. There's many others out there who are not mentioned. You got models on. I think one of the next model that was on transgender. All these people just come helping out mainstream acceptance.
Yeah, and you got to give credit. When they out there, they're also putting their careers on the line, because let's be honest, this is a really new for people to try to put their down, and
I totally agree. Yeah,
it's going to be it's going to be a tough uphill battle for acceptance in many ways, and I think it's some people such as yourself, people such as who have a voice in elected office, or have a voice such as you do with your to educate.
And that's what my whole goal is with this, to bring people like you on, is to educate people on this, educate people on the process of it, because making is definitely, it's not easy.
No.
I mean, I got to see it myself about over a month ago, witnessing the education committee on the Jesse Kramer bill. We'll talk about later more. And it's definitely an eye-opening. I mean, you hear about it on the news all the time. You think, oh, why can't they just do this? Why can't they just do that? No, it's not that easy.
You know, the wheels of government are very slowly. And unfortunately, you know, I think a lot of times when we have a bill, the Kramer bill, which, as you said, we're going to talk about later, those types of bills tend to move too fast. And they really a knee-jerk reaction to people's fears.
Right, and so we talk a lot about on the show is like when we get into all these alternative subjects and lifestyles, is people fear they do not know.
Right.
And I'd rather have people know. I'd rather have people ask me a question instead of assuming something. That's why I'm a very open person about it.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not an expert on transgender issues. I'm learning, and I'm so grateful to people like you to teach me what I need to know to better support that community.
And I am happy to make as much sense as I need to.
And you know what? And I know you will. I mean, you have been. I mean, you were there right at the start when this issue came up in Madison. And I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to test, but you'd give us your written testimony.
Yes.
But I tell you, that hearing was something else to hear all those young people.
Right. I mean, I was really moved seeing, and I'm happy that more of the students got to testify because it was going to be more with whatever the outcome of that's going to be.
Yeah.
And, just the courage that they had to get up there is amazing. Considering how young they are, I mean, that must be intimidating. You're in the state capital. You're in the central of government of the state. I mean...
Yeah. You know, that was, what, a 9-hour hearing, I believe? And then the judge shut down with... many of them had not had a chance to testify. And I felt so bad. One young man, transgender young man, to me and asked me if I would be willing to listen to his testimony. And, they cleared us out of the hearing. But fortunately, the office is my own personal space. They can kick us out of there. So I invite him along with guardian into my office to listen to what he had intended to tell committee. And what he said to me just was, it broke my heart. He tried to commit suicide 3 times. All I could do was take him and give him a hug and tell him he's a special person and he's got a great future ahead of him, and that he would get through this, and people like me, people like you, who will be out there to support.
And that's why I'm doing things like this, so we have a voice.
Right.
Because I believe that everyone is important, no matter what we bring to the table.
Yeah.
There's something little or something great.
Right.
And I believe that we all can make a difference.
Yeah.
And, it was such a very eye-opening experience, even to see the other side testimonies. I mean,
I'm really glad there's no camera on here.
Oh, it is on my laptop. It's not on right now. So. I mean, even to see the other side testimonies and just your jaw just drops some of the stuff you hear, and part of the problem is we have here in Wisconsin. Since this is national, this season, not just because we're here in Wisconsin right now, we have a right-wing governor who will stop and not take his agenda through. He's all right to work, many other things, cutting school budgets. We have the Assembly and Senate, which are both controlled by Republicans as well. So they think they can just get all this stuff through, they're just going to draft this stuff up and like this bill, like the Kramer bill.
Yeah. What really scares me is right now we're coming up to the end of our session. Probably by middle of March we'll be done in Madison. And they know. I believe they know that they could be in this election cycle. It's actually been predicted by the Republicans that they were going to lose 4 to 6 seats in the Assembly, and they have a good chance of losing the Senate because of all the stuff they've done. I'm worried. I mean, it scares me because they see the writing on the wall, and what kind of stuff are they going to push through in the next couple months.
Right. And then you got bills like the Kramer bill, which, well, I mean, let's be honest here. This Family Rights Action Group is the one that's really behind this bill.
Wisconsin Family Action.
Wisconsin, yeah. And there's these groups across the country, the Family Freedom, Family Right, they just change the name, whatever part of the country they're in. They're really pushing their agenda here, and they're using state representatives because they have to in order to propose a bill such as these.
Right, and I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Here's what I see going on with groups like Wisconsin Family Action. They have really gotten pretty much everything they wanted, through the legislature. And Jillian Appling, who is the executive director of that particular group in Wisconsin, she needs to justify her existence as obvious.
Yeah.
So this is her new kit. I mean, if you think about what has transpired in the past, even the past 2 years in this country around LGBTQ issues, I mean, we now have, same-sex marriage is the law of the land. Mm-hmm. Julian Appling almost crashed, I think, when that ruling came on from the Supreme Court. They've pushed the abortion issue as far as they possibly push it. Their new laws on abortion issues are being, overturned in courts across the country. So they can't touch that. So now this is their new.
Well, it's just like, after gay marriage became law of the land, Scott Walker came out and said when he was for president that he was going to appeal it through an amendment. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right. I remember when Wisconsin had the constitutional amendment. The definition of marriage amendment. Remember that? It was 2008, I think, or 2006. I don't know exactly when it was, but I remember going door to door, knocking on doors against that. And when you think of how overwhelmingly the people of the state voted for that, and now 10 years later, those numbers have reversed.
I know, and a lot of it is the change in attitudes of transgender visibility and visibility within politics, within the media. I mean, Massachusetts was the first state to legalize gay marriage back in 2004, and look how long it took for the whole country to come into play.
It took years. It took years for this transformation to happen. And let me back up here a minute. Let's back up about 40 years.
Okay. All right.
When I was in junior high school. And I think to understand the way I feel about LGBTQ issues, you need to know where I'm coming from on this. Mm-hmm. So back in, the 70s when I was in junior high school, nobody talked about these issues. Queer was gay. Everybody, there was, everybody called, if you didn't like somebody, you're a queer. I would never say that word today, just in paraphrase.
I remember that even when I was a kid in the late 80s or 90s.
Yeah. And 2 of my classmates committed suicide.
Oh my God.
They were gay, and at that time you just didn't talk about it. You didn't come out. You didn't tell your parents. They held this in. And every time I think of issues, I go back and think of my 2 classmates. If they were in middle school today, things would have been a lot different for them.
Yeah, definitely. When you're talking 40, 45 years later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so sad what kids had to go through back then, because who knows how many kids may be transgender or gay or lesbian or bisexual or even like intersex or asexual, because these are kind of the new ones coming, into the scheme here. Even gender fluid, where people feel like they be one or the other. Which we're actually going to have a show topic on that later on in about a month.
Okay. So I'll have to listen to that. That's something I need to learn about.
I mean, that's why we're here, because we're here to educate people on these issues.
Yeah. Well, also, when I was on a school board, I served on the Milwaukee School Board from 90 to 98. And one of the things that I actually got passed on the board was to provide counseling for children who, felt that they were, gay or lesbian. It wasn't done in a negative way. It was done in a positive way so that they knew they were normal. Mm-hmm. And
right.
And there was help out there for them to come to terms with sexuality. I'll never forget. They tried to reach me. I had people pick in front of my house.
Wow.
Accused me of being into bestiality.
Wow.
It was unbelievable.
Wow.
It was just for trying to get counseling for these children.
Just to try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And provide help for people who are in need of this help.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that was received back then, and this is just as recent as the early 90s.
This was the early 90s, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how much has changed.
It has.
And that's why I have just on Facebook. It's open 24/7. It's a place where people don't talk about stuff. That's why I founded that, because I realized how important it is to have places like this, because even today, transgender visibility has changed for the greater good, but there's still many people who do not feel openly comfortable talking about things and issues. And that's probably one of the reasons why I was quiet about it for so many years after I had begun transitioning, because I was more afraid of my own parents. Ooh, I love them to death. They're Pentecostal Christians, and that's why I was probably more afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew with my friends, I would have no problem with.
But now that you're out, they support you.
Yeah. And that's that's the great thing about parents, is that we're both very different sets of people there. Yeah, because we love each other. We're actually closer now than we were before, because there's no restrictions.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for many people, that doesn't work out that way. There's families that disown their kids because they come as gay or lesbian or transgender or bi or whatever. And that just breaks my heart,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just because you're being who you are. I mean, why?
I have a cousin who's gay. And we all knew, way back when. We knew, Nobody talked about it. Nobody ever, said anything. And then one time, about 20 years ago, he was performing, in Michigan, on Mackinac Island, in one of their shows. A talented guy, very extremely talented guy, singer, dancer. And we went over there to see his show. And afterwards we had dinner. And he said, it was so fun. He said, I gotta tell you guys something.
And then you're like,
Scott,
okay.
What? I'm gay. We just got no kidding. It's like we all knew it. We just accepted him. And he's one of my favorite relatives,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like with that's why I asked Jess. I had people, I get messages now, people saying thank you so much for doing this, because it means so much for people to have that place to talk about stuff, to be feel free, be who they are.
Right.
Like I had a lady who, I won't say her name, she came out as asexual not too long ago, and she told me, and just talking and messaging but way before, and I told her, there's no time limit on you come out, it's whenever you're ready. Mm-hmm. And when you do come out, when you are ready, I am here for you as a friend. So let me know, Mm-hmm. And when she came out, I congratulated her, and it's such a liberating feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to explain if you're.
See, I can't imagine what it feels like.
The whole term of coming out is so surreal when you actually go through it.
Yeah.
Because I remember the day of, and I'm like, here we go. I had it all typed out. Click. I know. This is what goes from here,
Yeah.
That experience, I just go with the flow. I know.
And what did you find? I mean, I a lot of support.
Right. I must have had 30 likes on it, like within the first half hour.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that's how much support. That's amazing, and it changed my life for the better.
I'm sure you remember the post. I remember commenting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's such a good feeling, because in the last months now, I've grown much more as a person than I have in the previous 36 years of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm happier. I am free.
Let me ask you a question now.
Yeah.
Do you think you feel like you're a much better, what word am I looking for? because you're able to be more honest with people now.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like, I got tired of hiding it.
Yeah.
There's changes going on. It has been a year of being on hormones. So after that amount of time, my body was really starting to change.
Yeah.
And I just got tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels like you're mean to yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, like, you know what? Fuck it. That won't be the only time you hear me swear at this. You know, here we go, you know. You know, what a perfect time to come out, you know, on your anniversary. So, yeah, I am happy it's finally out. And it feels like that was holding my life back 36 years because, I was a closet cross-dresser for many years.
Oh, okay.
My parents kind of found out about that. They didn't know what was wrong with me. They sent me to counseling to try to fix the problem. You're not the good kind of counseling that you're proposing. But
You know. Dr. Baby.
We're necessarily, I don't think we're necessarily talking about conversion slip here, but I'm totally against that.
Yeah.
You know, I just wasn't in that environment to explore my own gender.
Right.
And, you know, those topics we'll get into over the course of the season is how do we go about that, you know, because I want to do topics on gender education and stuff like that. So,
right.
But that's kind of a bit of my own personal sidetracking.
Yeah, it's okay.
We got all day. We can sit here all day.
We probably could.
Yeah. Well, we're all right. Getting back on topic, but so okay. Gender comes out a couple weeks after I come out, and that's when the whole media firestorm began, good and bad. She came out a couple weeks later, and I would say what was about a couple months later is when she came on the Vanity Fair issue.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, she's got like a lot of money, and makes it look like she transitioned overnight. This is not the case for many people within the community.
Right.
It takes 3 to 5 years on average. It's like going through puberty again. But when you have a lot of money, you can do stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's sick.
You can afford a whole makeover.
Yeah, right. I mean, she's been on the Kardashians for years. You know, she's been on that show. She, you know, doing her Olympic stuff, these boxes. You know, who knows what else. So that there's, you know,
I think she's got her own reality show now too.
Yeah, I am Caitlin, right?
I'm Caitlin.
Call me Caitlin.
Yeah. I don't want to be a commercial for her, but yeah, I don't know if it's even on yet.
I think it is. And then on June 26th is when gay marriage officially became law of the land. Mm-hmm. Of course, that I think was a big landmark thing that happened this year in the LGBT plus rights movement.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was huge. You know, and I had, you know, I've been following it, of course, and I had no idea that the Supreme Court was going to come up with a ruling that quickly. And I remember sitting in my living room, and all of a sudden, that afternoon, there's breaking news on Supreme Court, and I actually had to sit down. I mean, I could not believe that it was happening that quickly. It was, and you know, I couldn't get there. I couldn't get to the courthouse that night. I had something going on with my family, but I went there the next day just to witness history. Well, I ended up witnessing probably 8 or 9 weddings, but it was probably one of the most amazing things I've ever been a part of.
It's a great feeling.
It was.
I really was, but I mean, that's a big step right there when that happened. But we are really not done yet. I mean, this is really, if we look at it, the grand scheme of things, this is really just the beginning.
The beginning, yeah.
You know, with these rash of the bathroom policing laws, I wasn't surprised. And now I came on Ask Just a couple of days ago saying that I predict that there will be a major Supreme Court decision on the bathroom issue within the next 5 years. I would say.
I think it would probably be even sooner than 5 years. You know, I think the way the states are handling this right now, I can't imagine that it's not going to go to the Supreme Court. And I think this is going to be one of those issues that is urgent. I mean, it really is urgent that that we start addressing these issues. And one of the things, if I could, on a little side note,
Sure.
There has been a bill introduced to include transgender in our civil rights languages.
Okay.
I don't know. I doubt if it's going to go anywhere this session, of course.
Yeah,
but
right.
It's been introduced, and I think that's the next step.
So that's good to know.
Yeah.
You kind of helped me out with a lot of inside stuff and these issues.
If you want to get back to the Kramer bill, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on another tangent.
No, it happens. But the problem is you have so many different states are introducing these laws now. Florida, Kentucky, Texas, South Dakota, Wisconsin. Now, just most recently, Indiana just proposed a law now, and of course they're in the news again. So,
New York, didn't they? No, New York's got a good one.
Yeah, they've got equal rights protections with the transgender people, which was just passed for New York City and the state of New York.
Yeah.
So now you got all these states going all these different directions, which is why I predict there will be a major Supreme Court here within the next 5 years because. We can't have one state saying one thing, another state saying another thing. It's...
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's going to go to the Supreme Court eventually.
Right. Eventually somebody's going to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you had these other issues like what's going on in Schaumburg, Illinois with the transgender student and not being allowed to use the locker room. However, they were found in violation of Title IX.
Right.
Then you had Hero, the Houston Equal Rights.
Mm-hmm.
And the Proposition 1, otherwise known as, that was done in Houston this past November. It was passed in which failed to pass because all these anti-LGBT groups were sending the wrong message. They're saying we don't want no men in women's bathrooms, but that was not even what the whole bill was about.
No, it's not. It's not, and
that just makes my mind go crazy because. The other side is using these scare tactics.
Well, and that's what they do. That they jump to the worst possible extreme. Men dressed as women are going to be in the women's bathroom so that they can, they can see our little kids, see our little girls naked. Mm-hmm. They just jump to the worst possible scenario.
Right.
And they use scare tactics. That's what they do. And they're good at it.
Yeah. And that's the thing that scares me. That's what's making it hard on us in the transgender rights movement is that a lot of times that side, they just don't care. They want to push their agenda.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing.
Right.
I mean, and going back to the Representative Jesse Kramer's testimony, he even flat out admitted that he did not talk to a single LGBT group or LGBT person about that bill.
No, he did not. The only person he talked to was Julian Appling.
Yeah.
And, Julian Appling, here's the way I looked at it. I still look at what she's trying to do here. It's one thing I can understand. I mean, I can't understand, but what she gets paid for. To go after, gay rights, and, abortion rights. But when you wage war on school children, I have a problem. Mm-hmm. I have a big problem.
Right. And you're waging war on groups on...
the most vulnerable
right.
group of children that we have. Mm-hmm. Children that are struggling with their own identity. Like I said, that one young man, he attempted suicide 3 times. His father disowned him. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of people, that's the kind of children that she is attacking.
It's just horrible, why these groups are doing this. It's, why attack children? Why even attack the transgender rights movement at all? I mean...
Because they don't understand it. That's what it is.
When you exactly. I mean, when you look at it, is anybody really hurting anybody by using a bathroom. I mean, there's laws against the crimes that happen if something does happen, such as a man that dresses as a woman to violate somebody else, because that's the argument I hear all the time on the other side, and I get that, but there has not been a single instance reported across the country of a transgender person attacking another person in the bathroom.
You're absolutely right.
That's the point I'm trying to get across here.
That's the point we've all been trying to get across here. But what we're dealing with here in Wisconsin is not just Republicans, but extreme conservative Christian Republicans. And, they don't get it. They don't understand it. I always say, they like to spout Jesus and they like to spout the Bible, and I'm Catholic, not real practicing, but I'm sorry, I don't think there's any way, if Jesus was walking this earth right now, there is no way that he would support this Christian right wing that we are dealing with here in Wisconsin.
Right. It's almost becoming like transgender rights versus religious rights. And that's what happened with Kent Davis in Kentucky earlier this year, and we saw the fire starting. And Mike Huckabee, of course, trying to step in and saying, we don't need to go there, and what he was, the things he was saying. But, that's
she got her 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. And then now she's not even going to get Time Person of the Year. So. I mean, she was in jail for what, 5 days? I think it was? But, I mean, that's the thing here. It's like becomes transgender rights versus religious freedom rights. And that's the problem when you have these extremists. And I know it's not all Christians. That's just a certain.
No, these are extreme.
Because I know there are the Christians who are very supportive of us.
Oh yeah.
And from all different denominations.
Right.
Like my parents who are Pentecostals. There's too many bigots up there, and it scares me.
It scares the hell out of me. When you look at my assembly district, I have in my assembly district, the Milwaukee Archdiocese is in my backyard. The Archbishop is a constituent. But I also have, I don't know how many retired nuns are left there anymore because, through attrition the numbers have been falling. But those are some of my biggest supporters. And they know where I stand on these issues. So,
well, like even the Pope has become a little more open.
The Pope has been very open about
it.
The Pope is, I went to see the Pope in Washington.
Yeah,
I was so honored to be in the same area as that particular Pope because he's just.
I mean, whether you're Catholic or not, that's got to be pretty cool. You see some of that statue in person. It's just like. I had to see President Obama at Labor Fest. It was about a year and a half ago.
Right.
It's just like, hey, I stand 100 feet of the president. Right. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, how many chances in life do you get to do that?
Yeah. So all these Christian Catholics, the extreme ones, would think they're, spouting the Bible and, sorry. Can't do that anymore because the Pope's on our side now.
Are there no ones that'll it's real nice, go to church, then a couple of minutes later, like, oh, when's the Packer game on?
Exactly.
Gotta chug down some beers. I don't want this to become into like a religious discussion.
No.
Because that's not what the point of the show is. But it's good to see though that certain religious groups are more open. And not just Catholics. See, I'm Lutheran, which believes in do on what makes you happy. And I've received a lot of support from groups on Facebook and wherever else. They're very supportive. So it's you know, it's not just, you know, just Catholics. It's
Right, no,
Wiccan.
it's everybody.
Yeah,
It's across the
Muslims.
board.
You know.
Yeah, it's across the board. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean that was Kim Davis. What was that about? I want to say August. That was over the
Yeah,
summer.
that was end of summer, if I recall. Yeah.
That was going on for a good couple of weeks there because I ran heat of the, which I like to call the circus on the Republicans, with however many candidates there are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lost track
I
now.
know. I think they're down to 14 now, 13.
14, 13,
Yeah.
which only 2 or 3 have really a legitimate shot of winning their primary.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see, like with that primary, it'll be interesting to see whoever wins that primary if they can actually bring the party back together, because that party's just so divided right now. Looking at the...
I don't want them to bring that party back together.
Right. Me neither. I'm just saying this, looking at it from a political...
Yeah, no, you know, the best gift that the Democrats could have is Donald Trump.
Well, he's said some pretty far out there things that's really got people's heads turning.
Oh, yeah.
Many different issues. I mean, we'll see if that turns the Biden in his ass.
Yeah.
You know, but
I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping he's the nominee.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we should find out here in the next 2-3 months here.
Yeah.
Once the primary
Yeah,
season
first primary is coming up, or first caucus.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do want to get back.
Yeah.
I do want to get back to the bathroom laws. I know in Wisconsin the law that was introduced, the Jesse Kramer bill, is they wanted to tell transgender students that they either have to use their biological sex bathroom or be accommodated with reasonable accommodation. Example, faculty restroom.
Right.
So, okay, we're going to go all the way to the other side of the school and use the faculty restroom.
Mm-hmm. And here's my problem with this bill. First of all, it's a bad bill.
Exactly.
Can't make a bad bill better. I'm going to put that right out there right now. But what they're doing really is by sending these children to a faculty bathroom or bathroom that's set apart from anybody else, you're signaling them out.
Exactly.
Signaling them out.
Making them feel stigmatized.
Exactly, and I can't imagine it. I mean, I think if that were me, I wouldn't even go to the bathroom. In fact, we had several of these young students say that they don't go to the bathroom in school because they're afraid to. Now, this bill, I mean, we had a 9-hour hearing on it. The only people that testified in favor of it were the bill's authors and Julian. And 9 hours, and that's it. The rest were opposed. There were students, there were parents, there were superintendents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had a major in the service. I think she was in the Army, and she's trans, and she came and testified. I don't know if you remember her testimony, but it was very moving. Her testimony was so moving that the majority leader, Representative Steineke, called her. Told her that this bill will not move because he's got a family member that's trans. So we were hoping that was really going to happen, but now we're hearing little bits and pieces that the bill could move. It was scheduled for a vote week before last. They took it off the calendar at the last minute. There's a couple different reasons why they could have done that. Either didn't have the votes on the Republican side to get it passed, or Republican leadership said no. But what I've heard straight from an open gay Republican was that caucus wants to actually caucus on this before they vote on it.
So they want to see basically where their members...
They want to see where their members are going to be. Now there's a sub to the bill, substitute amendment.
Okay.
And it really doesn't make the bill any better. what does is now it requires bathroom stalls where trans students may be utilizing it. This must go from floor to ceiling, and there can't be any cracks so that nobody can peek under or around the door.
But then the schools are going to have to spend all this money.
They're going to have to retrofit their bathrooms. They don't have the money. The other thing is, I had brought up during the hearing the issue of if I go to a school program, say with my grandson, according to that bill, I would not be able to take my grandson into the ladies' room to maybe go to the bathroom, So they did change the bill. But I still can't take my grandson into the ladies' room. And I would have to go into the men's room with my grandson.
And I know there's a lot of parents that do that, like a mother with a young boy who's maybe like 1-2 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was really little, like 2-3 years old, my parents used to do it with me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they want to be protective,
Right.
And
But yeah, what they did, they changed it in such a bizarre way. I would have to go into the men's room with my 2-year-old grandson.
Jeez. And then that'll make you feel very awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then it's just like, what's the point of even taking them to the bathroom then? Unless
this is how clueless these people are that are proposing these policies. They're just, they have a knee-jerk reaction to things.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, and then it's just like, just what happens in Indiana now. They just had that freedom rights bill that they had introduced within their legislature. That was earlier this year, and they had a whole firestorm against that because Indiana holds one of the biggest conventions, the Gen Con convention in Indianapolis. There's many others. Mm-hmm. Well, right within the city of Indianapolis was a very LGBT friendly city.
Right.
But they introduced a bill now. His name is like Representative Tomei, I think, if I'm pronouncing that right. But he's saying that people have to use their biological sex bathrooms, or if they're caught in violation of the bill, that they can go to jail for a year and be fined $5,000.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to make it a crime now to use the bathroom?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. I mean, I think there's bigger issues, bigger crimes that are out here. I mean, we're going to send somebody to jail for a year for using a bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how ridiculous is this?
Don't give Wisconsin any ideas like that, please.
No. I mean, the sad thing though is Indiana does have a Republican governor too, and I don't know where they stand on this. I mean, I don't have any contacts down there, but it scares me. I mean, especially for people like us who travel to certain states and you have to travel through states and what do you do?
What do you do? I mean, are they going to post road signs?
Yeah, right. Warning signs. Are they going to have officers in front of every public bathroom, malls? Check out into your skirt or something like that? I'm like, are you male or female? No, you got to use that bathroom over there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's almost like we're going back to the 60s.
Yeah.
I mean, that's lights and cuts.
Right. I mean, that's what it feels like as an emergent leader in the rights movement. Yeah. Is that it feels like we have reverted it back to the 50s and 60s with transgender and rights and LGBT. Yeah. Because even Governor Christie of New Jersey says he wants transgender bathrooms. So we're going to have men, women, transgender. So I mean, talking about segregating the population.
Yeah.
You walk into a transgender bathroom, everybody's going to know you're transgender.
Right.
I want people to view me as female, not just. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
It is.
I mean, I get the whole press issue. I get that, but
Jess, this is not about privacy.
Right.
This is about fear.
Right. I mean. I'm just getting a lot of arguments, like, women who fear that they're going to be attacked or violated, or people who have. And, I understand that, but the transgender person is not going to hurt you. I mean, there's two different things here. This is transgender people. Those people are called sexual predators. And that's a whole different category of people right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to set that very clear. There's two.
Can you say it again real clear?
Yeah. There's two different categories here. There's transgender people who are peaceful and we're not going to hurt you who have not had one single instance of reported violence within the bathroom or restroom
Right.
to sexual predators.
And
Those are the people who dress up as females or do whatever crazy things that you need to go to jail for a long time. Those are the people who need to go to jail.
And, if I recall, I think I made that point at the hearing. I think I got very angry at one point. I said, if I recall, I said something like, "You know what? These are children, not sex predators."
Right, exactly. And by these people introducing these bills, just out of fear, oh, I got the quick track solution here.
Yeah.
This is what's going on in Indiana now, just like here in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I got the solution to all problems.
Right.
It's like you're saying to transgender people that that's what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, and this is also, I think, this is also an ALEC bill. And for those of you who don't know who an ALEC is, it's not a person. It's called the American Legislative Exchange Council, and it's a Republican.
I've heard of that before.
Think tank.
Yes.
Yeah. And they, but for your listeners, anybody listening to this, they, it's a right-wing Republican think tank, and they, basically give state legislators this information and say, this is the bill we want to introduce. And that's why, when you look around the country, that's why there's so many of these bills being introduced.
Right. And a lot of these bills, like in a state like Wisconsin, when you have a right-wing governor, both House and the Assembly are both right-wing, they put these bills on fast track.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to give the opposition even a chance.
No.
And they don't even talk to the opposition before they're introducing them.
They introduce a bill. 2 days later, they'll schedule the hearing. I mean, so they can get this stuff through really quick, and, because they have such a supermajority.
Right.
They have no recourse except for call them out on it.
Right, and the thing with the Jesse Kramer bill is, I wonder if his timing on this was purposeful, because he had originally scheduled a hearing a couple weeks before the actual hearing day, which was November 19th, because I remember it, because it was the day before Transgender Day of Remembrance.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I wonder if there was
No, what I was told, and looking back at it now, it's like, what I was told was they needed more time to get their speakers there. Well, obviously, if they were trying to take the time to get their supporters there, it's not I have a whole lot of supporters, because like I said, there were 2 people that spoke in favor of the bill.
Right, and I mean, looking at I was in the waiting room of the hearing for a while, and it was packed.
Yeah.
There was not even an open seat available.
No,
There's people
packed.
sitting on the floor. There's people standing. I mean, we had like 2 different overflow rooms going.
Yeah.
It was amazing to me to see the support coming out.
Yeah.
And as an activist and stuff, that's what I love to see.
And you got to give credit to Fair Wisconsin and G-Safe. I mean, they really worked hard at, number 1, mobilizing the families and the children, and number 2, educating the Democratic members of that committee on what, because this is like I've said, this is a whole new territory for so many of us.
Oh yeah, I totally understand.
I mean, they took the time to educate us on what language to use, what words are good, what words are bad. So you really got to give them a lot of credit for what transpired during that hearing.
Oh right, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, and just to have 9 hours testimony with the vast majority of it being against, and then have many people who didn't even get a chance to testify, that says something right there.
Right.
Even for that should say, especially for the Republican legislatures that were there on the committee.
Yeah. Well, and also, when the committee chair talked about shutting down at 5 o'clock, I found it really interesting, because he had agreed that, okay, they can shut it down, you can leave, but the Democrats on the committee we said, no, we're staying. You guys leave, we're staying, we're going to hear everybody in this room.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden Speaker Voss got involved and said, oh no, told the Capitol Police to shut it down.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Even though there's people from all over the state who have come, including me, who've driven an hour from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
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 And
no, it was the speaker said to had the Capitol Police come in and shut it down.
wow, wow. I mean, that's just politics there at work, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it'll be interesting in the next, you know, especially in the next few months. We could reopen this topic again on a future show if things with the Kramer bill develop, you know, to a potential vote, or things like with Indiana that's going on. Because I think this Indiana bill is going to start getting a lot of attention here soon, because Indiana was already just previously on the hot seat, similar issues. So I can see this.
Yeah, you know, I can't make any predictions, of course, because I don't know what they're going to do. But I guess I can make a prediction. We're either going to see this bill or the fetal tissue ban bill. I've heard that they're possibly using the bathroom bill as a negotiating tool.
As leverage?
As leverage on that.
Wow.
So, but I will keep you posted as to what I'm hearing and what I see. I do have a friend over in the Republican caucus who, you know, kind of tells me what's going on sometimes. So I'll keep you posted.
You know, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm always like a phone call away to...
Yeah. No, I'll keep you posted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is definitely stuff that we will, you know, follow definitely on Ask Jess. Definitely on the show if we do future show topics. And maybe have you on again later on.
I would love to.
Yeah,
I would love to.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of outstanding guest co-hosts coming on next several weeks. Hopefully, going to teach us a lot of stuff.
Good. And I wish you on this.
Thank you, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I am excited to do this, and let's do this real quick. Idiot of the week.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to do the idiot of the week. I'm even talking too much. I love how you say, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
All right, who's your pick?
My pick is Julian Apley.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on this one.
Yeah.
There you go, Julian Apley, and all hail to you and your idiots.
Yes. For those of you who don't know who she is the executive director of Wisconsin Family Action, the group that brings us every anti-abortion, anti-LGBT issue. Idiot of the week.
Idiot of the week. Yes.
I say mom.
Maybe she'll be in the idiot wall of shame for the year or so. Who knows? All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up, and it's thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for coming on.
I love it. I enjoyed it.
I mean, I was doing prep, and I didn't look through a single one of these notes.
That means that you're comfortable enough on the air and with me.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, and knowledgeable enough to even
exactly.
Excited not even look at one single website.
Yeah.
I probably had like 3 hours of prep sitting here, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, we'll see where this goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back. We're going to be back recording on January 3rd. We're going to do a show on actually the little people community of America. So that should be an interesting show topic.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening, and everybody have a great day, have a great night,
and Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year, and be in.